Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Herb Leroy, and I'm the private secretary to the Lieutenant Governor, His Honour, the Honourable Stephen Point. And on behalf of His Honour and Premier-designate Christy Clark, welcome to this ceremony wherein the Premier and the Executive Council will be formally installed in office. These proceedings are rich in the tradition of our constitutional monarchy. In each of our provinces, the Lieutenant Governor exercises the authority of the Crown in the name of Her Majesty and gives formal approval to the laws enacted by the Legislative Assembly and the administration of which is carried out in the name of the Queen by the Executive Council or the Cabinet, of which the Premier is President. Within Canada's provincial constitutional structure, the primary responsibility of the Lieutenant Governor is to ensure that there is always a government in office and that the basic principles of responsible governance are respected. And as representatives of the Queen, the Lieutenant Governor will now install the new government. Firstly, His Honour will administer the oaths of allegiance, then of office, and then of confidentiality to the Premier-designate, Mrs. Clark, as First Minister, Premier of British Columbia, and the President of the Executive Council. Then upon Premier Clark's recommendation, His Honour will install the members selected for the Executive Council by administering the same oaths, after which Premier Clark will announce their portfolios. Please ensure your cell phones are turned off. And also, because we have to have some order of chaos, I ask you to hold off taking photos. We have an official photographer, and anybody who is going to need photos afterward can obtain them from him. Thank you very much. Now I'd ask you all please rise for the arrival of the Minister's Designate, followed by the entrance of the Premier-designate and the Lieutenant Governor. And I'll ask you please to remain standing until the National Anthem is played. Trust me, it's coming. Would you all now please join soloists Carly and Julie Kennedy in the singing of the national anthem, accompanied by pianist Christine Wong. Thank you, everybody. Well done. Please be seated. Thank you, Carly, Julie, and Christine. I'd now like to invite the Very Reverend Peter Elliott, Dean and Rector of Christ Church Cathedral in Vancouver, to give the invocation.
From time immemorial, spiritual traditions have been part of this land we call British Columbia. The first peoples in their ceremonies acknowledged the Great Spirit and the Great Creator. Christians, Roman Catholics, Anglicans, Protestants were amongst the first European settlers here. And today in this region of cultural diversity live peacefully, side by side, Jews and Muslims, Hindus and Sikhs, and many others from spiritual traditions. We have all found a home here in this place of peace and freedom. All religions share the hope that the earth will be respected and that people will live together in peace and justice. The hope within spiritual traditions imagines a world where families of many varieties can create a culture of harmony and compassion. So today we take a moment of silence as we ask the Great Spirit, the Creator, the one true and living God known by many names, to bless the work of this new government. I'm going to invite us to take a moment of silence first as we remember the people of Japan. Remember all whose lives have been lost and for the rebuilding of that country. And then I will offer a prayer from the Christian tradition attributed to St. Francis of Assisi. Lord, make us instruments of your peace. Where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O great Creator, grant that we may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen.
Thank you very much, Reverend Elliott. And now I'd like to call on His Honor. Your Honor.
Premier Designate Christy Clark and her colleagues. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me first of all to welcome each and every one of you to Government House. For some of you, this is your very first visit, and I trust that it will be memorable. But please keep this in mind. Although this is the ceremonial home of all British Columbians, each and every cup is numbered. And those of you who've been here before, please bring all that stuff back, okay? Just kidding. Today's one of those special times that are both rare and important. It's rare simply because it doesn't happen that often. It's important because we are following in the footsteps of the great founders of our province, who in their wisdom and foresight saw fit to cast British Columbia in the historic duality of democracy and monarchy. Today you will bear witness to the swearing-in ceremony of a new First Minister and her cabinet. These positions in government are institutions essential to the good governance of British Columbia. I congratulate the Premier Designate and her colleagues and wish you continued success in this your most important hour and in the years to come. May your journey be blessed with clear skies, calm water, and a strong wind to guide your ship. I wrote those words this morning, and I'm going to add just these few other comments. In our great longhouses at home, on an occasion like this, to mark a new beginning, they spread a brand new blanket on the ground. It represents our world, our universe. And then they clothe the individual to be honored in a blanket that represents that new beginning. And today we cloak you with the responsibility of governments. It's a new blanket. We ask you to keep it in the way that it's presented. We ask you to remember that you serve the people of this province at all times. We entrust you with the reins of government. When I became a judge, the chief judge said to me, remember this, you'll be sitting somewhere in a hotel in a corner of the province where the light doesn't go on and the heater doesn't work. But just remember this, you asked for it.